What's up, guys? Mad Fragger back again. Got another fragrance review video for you. And today I'm on some throwback vibes, guys. Now, if you're not somebody who enjoys classic kind of throwback OG fragrances, then you might just want to skip this one, because I've got one that was released in the year 1976. And just a quick kind of background story on this one. I literally can very vividly remember. There's not a lot of memories from my childhood that are real vivid or clear for me. Smoked a lot of marijuana throughout my lifetime, so the memory gets a little bit fuzzy. But there's one memory that I remember absolutely crystal clear, and that is my father's fragrance collection on the top of his dresser in his bedroom that I wasn't supposed to touch. And when my parents weren't around, I like to sneak in there and smell his fragrances. I can't be the only one who's done this, guys. Dad had stuff like Dracar Noir, Polo Green, Obsession, and this fragrance right here, which is Halston Z-14. And I remember sneaking in my dad's room and smelling this fragrance and putting little sprays on me of this fragrance. And the problem is, Dad would know when I've been in there snooping around, because back then, these fragrances were monsters. Polo Green, especially, and this one in particular as well, they were just monsters. This is back before the IFRA put regulations and bans on certain, ingredients in fragrances, and the newer formulations of these fragrances are pale comparison to what they used to be when they were released. But I remember so well smelling my dad's fragrances, and I think I was maybe like 8 or 10 years old, and it's one of the fondest memories that I have. And this one is definitely one of those nostalgic fragrances that brings back all those memories when I smell it. We know how closely that memory is associated with scent, and how a certain smell can bring back a memory for you. And that's what's going on with this one for me, especially in particular. But guys, I only wish that I could get my nose on the original formulation of this. But as it stands, I have to kind of settle with the stomped down version of this fragrance that you can pick up now. When this fragrance was in the 70s and early 80s, when this fragrance was out on the market and in its original formulation, it had a really heavy gold cap. This is a light plastic. Oh, dropped it. Oh, sorry about that. This is a really light plastic cap, and the bottle still looks pretty much the same. I've always liked this bottle. Kind of looks like a pebble to me, how it's got these indentations. But yeah, the bottle is not so bad. This fragrance, much like other fragrances of this era, has a list of notes that's as long as my swinging cod. So I'm not going to sit here and read off all the notes, but what I can tell you is the notes that I get. And now remember, I'm just going off of this reformulation, this batch, this fragrance that I have right here in my hand. This thing actually, for being a throwback fragrance, has a lot of sweetness to it. It opens up with kind of like a citrusy kind of feel. There's a freshness to it. Like I said, some not overly sweet, but it does have a good amount of sweetness to it. And then as it starts to dry down, you get kind of like some green that comes in, some kind of like cypress green, a little bit of mossy kind of feel. And it dries down to like kind of a danky, kind of earthy green leather. The leather isn't real strong or prominent. It's more like a softer kind of a suede kind of leather, in my opinion. But and that cypress, that greenness of it kind of carries throughout the fragrance. And then you get some really great cinnamon vibe. I don't know, for those of you who have smelled the older, like Obsession, Calvin Klein's Obsession, That one is like a cinnamon bomb. So it's not quite that cinnamon. It doesn't have that quite that level of cinnamon as Obsession, but there is some cinnamon going on here. And in the mid, you do get a good bit of cinnamon and provides some nice warmness to the fragrance. So kind of a sweet, warm cinnamon with like green around the edges, and like that freshness kind of dies down after the opening. The opening on this is really great, but then it dries down, and I mean the mid and the base are really good as well. The problem is, and you probably saw this coming with all the talk about this, that it's been reformulated and that the IFRA has banned certain substances that you used to use in these, and they're not quite the monsters that they used to be. This one does suffer from lack of performance, but I've said this in other videos and I'm going to say it again. Not every fragrance has to be an all day, you know what I mean, like monster performer to be appreciated. And if you're somebody who does kind of get on board with, that does, you know, enjoy like a throwback style fragrance, I feel like this one here, it does have a dated kind of like old school feel, like an old kind of barber feel to it. But that sweetness and that kind of the way that the green works in it, it kind of really modernizes this to a point. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that smells like a modern fragrance. It doesn't. It does smell like a throwback fragrance, but it's got a certain je ne sais quoi to it. That probably isn't even, an accurate usage of that, but I just thought it sounded cool. It does have a thing going on here that kind of does modernize it to a point over some other, throwback kind of classic fragrances that I've smelled. This one has a modernity to it that that I think I can really pick up on, and I think that others would pick up on that. If you get your nose on this one, I think that you'll agree that it has a modernity to it. This one is, for me, like I said, a big time throwback and a lot of nostalgia here. But putting that aside, though, this is a fragrance that I will wear now and again, especially in a situation where, I don't need it to last too long. Like I'm just, say going to the grocery store. This thing will project for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, especially if you overspray a little. Nothing wrong with overspraying a little bit with this one. And it'll project for about an hour or so, and then starts to kind of like die off. And I'm thinking like longevity on this, true longevity as far as how long the fragrance is going to stick around and you're going to be able to smell it off of you. Maybe a few hours, 3 to 4 hours, and then becomes a skin scent, and it's still detectable on your skin for a little while. But as far as like really performing and really like kind of making its presence known, you're talking 3 or 4 hours on this one. But if it's a situation where something that lasts a few hours is fine, this is a great one to wear, especially like fall, winter. Like I said, it's got that cinnamon in here and that kind of earthy greenness, that mossy greenness to it that I feel smells great in the cool weather. And I stand by this one as one that is wearable and is still like relevant to a point. Not saying it's an everyday wear or it's one that you want to pick up and wear all the time. Like this isn't going to be one you're going to make your signature scent or anything crazy like that. But this is one that you can pull out once in a while and really enjoy, especially in the cool weather. So thanks for taking this walk down memory lane with me. This is Halston Z-14. I think I got going on this video and I didn't even say the name of the fragrance one time. Here's the box, Halston Z-14. It is a 125 milliliter bottle, and EDT concentration. And this one here is just, in my opinion, this is one of my favorites of the throwback classics when you're talking about the big boy throwback classics, like again, Polo Green, Drakkar Noir, Obsession. And this one is right up there with them in my opinion. And I feel like you can pick this up for like 15 bucks. And I feel like for the $15 that you can grab this for, it's worth spending the 15 bucks and enjoying this once in a while, and on an occasion where it warrants wearing this. And I really love it. I'm glad that I have it, and it takes me back every time to being a young kid. And I remember smelling this on my dad when we would like work around the house together, or I was in the garage helping him work on the mower or something. I'd smell this, and this is back when this thing would like really project and really like have a strong presence to it. And I remember smelling this on my dad, and it just brings back those memories like that. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Consider picking this one up. It's only 15 bucks, and it's something that's very interesting to check out from a bygone era. And even though it's reformulated, worth picking up for $15. I'm the Mad Fragger. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you next time.